Hello, everybody. All right, get this angled nicely. Yeah. Oh, there's where the screen ends. It's hard to tell. The yeah, I talk about our lights every time I come on this live. Anyways, today we're talking about the negativity cycle, how to break it, and using forced positivity. Um, Pretty straightforward, but I'm gonna actually give you guys some more understanding of why this is kind of going on and why we're experiencing this. Um, Something that Casey and I have noticed within ourselves, but within the team as well, and beyond that, just within society lately, is that there's so much negativity. Um, there's just it just seems that there's very few people that are genuinely happy anymore. There's a lot going on. There has been for a number of years now, and we're seeing those effects right now. We're seeing them um, as individuals. We're seeing them as family members. We're seeing them as coaches, Casey and I. We're seeing them as business owners. We see it, and it's hard to ignore. So I want to talk about it today because it's something that we need to start addressing within ourselves right away. And yeah, pretty important topic. So if you're joining the live, please hashtag your win. Let's celebrate some wins. My win for today is actually, and going back to a workout win, I had an absolutely fantastic leg day today. I really did not feel like I had the energy for it. I started off my workout just really battling my mind and fatigue. Didn't want to be there, didn't want to do the work because I was feeling tired. But I ended up having one of the best leg days I've had in a good while. Came with sufficient mental suffering, which happens on leg days, and it happens especially on workouts when you don't want to do them. But it's battling through that feels so extra good at the end. Once you get through that workout and you can look back on it and go, man, like I came in here, I really didn't want to do it. I was tired, didn't think it was going to be a good workout, and it was hard as hell. I'm exhausted, but I did a really fantastic job today. Something that I love about fitness when you practice those moments and you reinforce them. The first few are hard because you have to overcome it and you don't know what's on the other side. When you've overcome that mental barrier a couple times, you start to recognize what's on the other side, so it gets a little bit easier the next time. And it's never easy, but it gets easier and easier and easier because every single time you get over that barrier, you see and you feel how good it is to be on the other side of that, which makes the resistance of overcoming it the next time that much easier. You already know what you're going to get out of it because you've gotten the same thing every single time. Cool. All right, let's hop into the topic today. Then let's actually dig into this. So, I got a hey, Robin. Um, Robin's looking forward to seeing her daughters tomorrow and Thursday for Thanksgiving. That's right, Thanksgiving is around the corner. Super excited for that. I know our Thanksgiving in Canada is past, but I know Casey and I will be having a celebratory dinner of sorts on Thursday to celebrate American Thanksgiving too. We have most of you guys in the States. We've spent some time in the States and might be spending more time in the States soon. So, yeah, definitely fun to celebrate two Thanksgivings. All right, so hopping into the topic, start off by just saying I've talked about this in the past before, but I'm going to bring it up again in case you didn't see that live or it's new or you forgot about it. Wouldn't blame you on any of those for any of those reasons, but I encourage you to Google this too. There's something called the negativity bias. It's this phenomenon that we have as humans where we tend to gravitate towards more negative things. I don't recall why. I know there's a psychological explanation why, and I can't tell you what that is because I don't remember off the top of my head. But essentially, we like murder documentaries. You know how many people just get the thrill of watching like a murder documentary, or we watch war movies, or we watch um, I don't know, so many things that we watch that actually revolve around negativity. We listen to music. Some of the music that makes us that we connect with the most is music that we connect through in I don't want to call them negative emotions, because I don't believe emotions are positive or negative. They are their own entity. But they can be uncomfortable, and we can associate negativity with those emotions. When you're sad, you can associate a lot of negativity, and songs that are sad and negative tend to be more comforting when you're sad and you don't feel like being positive, right? So we have this innate tendency that we want to gravitate towards more negativity. Um, there's examples that we can see within like social media and just media in general. They they know this, and we can see it. Like, look at how news outlets have changed in the last 15, 20 years. We're always used to be news when it was back when there was print newspaper, and that was like, every Sunday you got your Sunday news. There was always articles that were feel good articles. There was always stuff in there celebrating things that happen in the community, or notable people in the community, or even just we used to celebrate veterans when they like turned like 100 and stuff. We always had something there. That used to be focused around some sort of feel good, happy, positive type of thing. And there was more and more of it back then. Now, if you look through a news website or anything to find anything positive or uplifting, is like you've got to dig for it. It's hard. And the reason being, it's not that I'm not going to go down some conspiracy that they want us to be negative, but they know what makes money. People are going to engage with the websites and read their newspapers when they have something that really piques their interest, and it tends to always be negative stuff. Hollywood, same thing. They want to make money. There's always feel good movies or endings that are feel good. But if you watch most of a movie and really think about it, majority of the movie isn't a feel good movie. It's not a feel good movie until the end. A lot of it takes you through a huge emotional roller coaster, and some of them don't have a positive ending at all, because it's what sells. It makes money. People gravitate to that, and it grabs our attention, and it's something that we want to hear more about. We want to see it's thrilling, exciting, whatever it is, right? Um, and so, yeah, we can see that through history, even in the last 2 decades, the shift towards more negativity, and the problem that has had is it's caused a chain reaction. Like we now politics. Well, I don't want to talk about politics, but just the nature of politics is very negative. It's always like bashing each other and pulling out what's wrong with their policy, and what they said that was stupid, and blah 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 blah. And there's not really nearly as much emphasis on um, what's good. There's no collaboration anymore, right? There's no when politicians talk about their policies, when they talk about their policy, it's always in the context of, this is the good thing I'm going to do because of that person, and it always has negative connotation attached to it. Even if they're trying to say the positive thing, that they balance that with the negative from the other side and why they have to do it, right? So it's just fed our society with more negative and negative and negative and negative. But the more that we see and engage with negative things, the more that we start to actually believe them and we think them, and it affects our daily living. Um, Gandhi has a saying that I'm going to totally butcher because I don't have it in front of me, but it's something along the lines of um, your beliefs become your thoughts. Your thoughts become your um, no, sorry. Your thoughts become your beliefs. Your beliefs become your actions. Your actions become your habits. Your habits become um, your being. And it's something along those lines, where where it starts with how we think, our experience in life. And that's what Gandhi was getting at with that saying, is our experience in life starts with our minds. We start everything up here, and then everything proceeds outward. Our behaviors start as thoughts. They start before we behave on something. We have to think about doing it. We have to make a conscious decision of what behavior we're going to exhibit. And so, the more that we listen to and feed ourselves with negative thoughts and negative things, the more we start to just replicate those in our minds. That becomes our reality, right? And so, um, yeah, I'm going to wrap that part of it up there, but it kind of highlights how, with the natural phenomenon of the negativity bias and the just how monopolizing, that's not the right word, monetizing news and media and all of that sort of stuff has led to more and more negativity. And I do genuinely believe that over the last few years, it's become excessive, and people are feeling it a lot, and we're seeing it a lot more in people. There's more of it happening, and so there's that real life data that what you put in your mind and what you engage in produces your experience, or it greatly shapes it. So, how do we break this? There's two two strategies. There's lots of different ways to do this, but there's two strategies that Casey and I love using. They're stuff that we've learned from guys like Jordan Peterson, women like Brené Brown, psychologists, um, um, psychiatrists. That's the other word I was thinking of, and just genuinely like great thinkers. People like Mark Manson, who might not have necessarily an educational background, but provides a lot of wisdom on how to change the quality of your thoughts to create a more meaningful experience in life. So the two ways. The first one is just cut negativity out. Right. So we're going to go into the second one, which is forced positivity. But those are two separate strategies, and they don't have to be used at the exact same time. Sometimes one is more effective than the other. They should both be used. Like I would say, you always use both of them. But pick your moments, whatever is the least resistance for you. It's not always about the least resistance, but in that moment, whatever you need to do to make that change is the strategy you're going to use. So cutting negativity out. It's literally as simple as that. Again, I want to make the distinction that emotions are emotions. Sadness is sadness. That's not a negative thing. It might be uncomfortable. It's not negative. Anger is not negative. How you express anger can be negative, but the feeling itself is just uncomfortable. Happiness isn't positive. It's just happiness, but we tend to associate that with more positive things. But there are times where happiness can be something that is actually detrimental, right? So if you don't know what I mean by that, ask me. I'm not going to go into it right now because it'll take me a while, but you can ask me if you don't understand that. So emotions are separate from positivity and negativity. Eliminating negative is simply just eliminating the negative thoughts. When you look at someone and you make a judgment on them, or you're like, I don't know, I don't dare say something, but you know what I mean. We make judgments on people, and they're very negative. We don't need to do that. That doesn't provide us any sort of benefit in life. It doesn't. Nobody hears it because it's a thought in our own mind. If we say it, it certainly doesn't help anybody. It just hurts people and makes people feel crappy. When we engage in negative gossip, we just feed the beast more. We end up walking away from that feeling more angry, or more frustrated, or our opinion of that person is even worse. We look for what's wrong with people more than we look for what's good in people. When we're gossiping, I mean, that's what gossip is. You don't gossip about how amazing somebody is. We don't call it gossip, right? So These things don't add to us and they don't add to anybody else. So it's literally just cutting it out. When you have a negative thought, recognize it and be like, oh, that's negative, and just remove the negativity with it. An example would be, um, okay, um, this is my own thoughts and feelings, but we pay a ridiculous price for gas in Canada, and a huge portion of it is gone to taxes, and those taxes keep increasing and increasing. And so I have a bit of anger towards the government for continuously increasing the taxes on gas, which makes life harder for every person living here. And so I can look at the gas price and be like, are you effing kidding me? Like, gas is that expensive? This place is ridiculous. Like, so much negativity. But I can't do anything about it. I can't change the price of gas. It just is what it is. So I can catch myself and stop the negativity and go, gas is expensive. Well, that sucks, but at least I can get it. At least I have access to it. I'm glad that I've got a car, because if I didn't have a car, I wouldn't be thinking about gas to begin with. And gee, it sure is nice to be able to drive to the gym and stay warm in the morning. We can change the quality of our thoughts. We can change it. I mean, I guess I'm choosing some forced positivity there, but we can literally just cut the negative out. We could literally just look at it and go, gas is expensive. Observation. That's it. We don't have to attach anything else to it. We can go, got a flat tire. Dang, I guess I'm going to have to change that and get a tire repaired. Glad I didn't get hurt or something. We could just, doesn't have to be negative. Oh, my day's ruined. I'm going to be late for work. Man, like, I can't afford this. I got to pay for this repair now. Are you kidding me? Like, we don't have to have all the negativity. We can just start to cut it out. One of the more tangible ways to do that is, this is my phone case. My phone's in my pocket. Imagine this is my phone. We can cut negative shit out of our lives by just not engaging in it anymore. Meme accounts are hilarious, but 99% of them revolve around negative thoughts, like some sort of punchy saying about how I saw one recently that was like, I'm just choosing to not smile and nod at someone when they make a stupid joke. I'm just going to tell them it's stupid. And it's like, ha ha ha, funny. We all think that sort of thing, but we don't need to. It doesn't help anybody. And when we keep reading that stuff over and over and over again, we just reinforce that pattern in our minds. Makes us worse people. It makes us people that we're not proud of. So cut it out. Like, take your social media, even if it's funny, I don't care. Cut it out. It's not helping you. Find something that's positive, that's funny, and watch that instead. Find something that's motivating. Fill your account full of things that actually help you feel better and have more hope, more encouragement, and more motivation to do things in life, rather than accounts that reinforce, oh, got a gym membership, guess I'm not going to use that again. Stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's a terrible example because I can't think of the memes. I cut all of that stuff out of my Instagram a long time ago. We can do it with our music, and that's hard. I connect a lot with music. I love my music, but I've started to change what I listen to, because a lot of the music that I listen to has some pretty profoundly negative lyrics, and that doesn't help me. It doesn't make me feel better. It might have a good sound, and I might appreciate the passion that's behind the lyrics, but is it helping me get further in life? Is it making me a happier person? Is it making me a better partner to Casey, or a better coach to you guys? Or is it making me chase my goals harder? Or is it just kind of taken away from that? And if it's not directly taken away from it, is it taking it away from that indirectly, because I'm not as positive because I've been listening to it all day, and then I go to do a check-in and I'm not my normal positive self? These things impact us all day long. So find different ways, cut them out, cut out as much negative as you can. You just eliminate the negativity. And then the other strategy is forced positivity. Obvious. This one's obvious. I kind of touched on it. Fill your account with shit that's positive, like things that make you feel good, that make you motivated. I have my account is now flooded with it, and some of my clients know because I send memes to them all the time. because I'm like, oh man, this is awesome. I got to send that to so and so or whatever, because it reinforces positive positive thought and motivation and encouragement. Especially important when you're frustrated with something. If you're in your fitness journey and you're not seeing the results that you want, or um, fuck it, let's say it's in at work, you have a skill that you need to learn and you're not picking it up as fast as you want to. It's frustrating. And the more that we think about it and experience that frustration, the worse it feels. But if we're constantly feeding ourselves with motivation of, it every failure is a stepping stone on the path to success, then you're like, okay, this sucks. I hate learning this, but just because I'm not hitting it now doesn't mean I'm never going to. It just means I'm learning more and more lessons and I'm getting closer to success. You see the change that that makes and how that's going to change your behaviors, your actions, your results as a athlete with Define Your Life Fitness, as a partner to your wife or your husband, as a mother to your children or a father to your children. All of these things start to impact us, and it's slow and progressive. We don't feel it right off the bat, but forcing positivity will start to catch on. We force tracking macros. You don't want to do it, but the more you do it, the easier it gets, the better you get at it, and the better your results are in life. It doesn't always feel good to force positivity. It feels good sometimes to sit in the shit, but it's not helping you. And it's not helping anybody else around you. Force positivity. When you're in a bad mood, don't just accept that you're in a bad mood for the rest of the day. Kick your own ass and say, look, I'm in a bad mood. I can choose this for myself. I can stay in this bad mood, or I can force positivity until I actually feel it. So I'm just going to force positivity as much as I don't want to do it, as much as I don't want to track my macros. I'm going to do it because I want the result. As much as I don't want to be positive, I'm going to be positive because I want the result. Force the positivity. When you have a negative thought, and I hope that everybody who watches this, I hope everybody watches this, but I hope that everybody who does watch it, you put this on the forefront of your mind to start evaluating your thoughts and the things that you're looking at. Pay attention. Are you consuming more negative things than positive things? Is your life experience, do you have more things to be negative about than to be positive about? I want you guys to think about that this week and evaluate it for yourselves. Correlate it. How much of the things that you fill your mind with, how much of those are negative? Put a percentage on it by the end of the week. And then spend the next week and think about, just evaluate the quality of your thoughts. How much do you complain and how much are you negative about? How much are you negative towards other people or towards yourself about? And what percentage is that? I bet you anything, it pretty closely relates to the amount of negativity you feed in your life. Now imagine if you flip the script, forced positivity, forced yourself to find music that's enjoyable, that's positive. Find movies to watch that are more positive, TV shows that are more positive. Stop watching murder documentaries. They're not helping you. They're just making you paranoid and cynical around the world because there's so many shitty people out there. We don't need to be aware of them. We don't want to give them fame. They don't deserve our fame. People who are worthwhile, that are changing the world in a positive way, they deserve our fame. They deserve the fame and our attention. Let's give it to them. And then we'll start to be able to embody it too, so that we're not so negative and we're contributing to the people around us, to ourselves, and to society in a much better, more positive way, where we can look back at it when we're laying on our deathbed and be like, man, I'm freaking proud of how I lived my life. And I touched some lives, and I didn't always want to be positive. I didn't always want to look on the bright side of things, but man, I'm sure as shit glad that I did, because I enjoyed my life because I did that. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna start yelling. I'm getting so passionate about this. So that's what I want you guys to do. Put it on the forefront of your minds. Pay attention. Like, spend this week hyper vigilantly, like evaluating your thoughts and evaluating the things that you're putting in your life. You can sometimes it's easier to evaluate other people, and I don't want you to do this in a night like a in a negative way. That's funny. Um, in a judgmental way is what I meant. But you can even evaluate the people around you. Are they more positive or more negative? How do you feel when they're more negative? How do you feel when they're more positive? Actually evaluate these things. It makes a huge difference and it changes your experience in life. Um, this is the last thing I'm going to say, but I've talked tons of times about how we create our experience in life based off of our perceptions. Our perceptions are our thoughts. We base our experience in life, like how we perceive things when they come into our lives, is based off of the beliefs and the values and the thoughts that we have around them. If we constantly think getting a flat tire is horrible, it sucks, it's a terrible thing, it's going to ruin my day, it sure shit is. But if you think about it like this is an inconvenience, these things happen, nothing I can do about it, maybe I should be more attentive to my tire health, or maybe you just ran over a screw and it's just chance, it just happened. Well, oh well, deal with it, move on. You got a whole rest of the day that could be the best day of your life. All right. That's it. That's all, you guys. I hope that this live was valuable for you. I hope that as passionate as I am about it, it starts to sink in for you as well. Um, and if you're watching on replay, hashtag replay. Yeah, go about this week and go about it differently. Okay. I'll talk to you soon. This is honestly a great time. Thanksgiving on Thursday. Be fucking thankful this week. All right. Later.